Chord inversions. First of all, I'm going to show you how to do them and then to explain why we need them. So each of the 12 major or minor chords has two inversions. So let's start off with the chord of C major, which comprises the notes C, E and G. Now if we take the lowest note C and make it the highest note and then rearrange our fingers, this becomes the first inversion of C major with the notes E, G and C. If we do the same thing again and take the bottom note E and move it up to the top and rearrange our fingers, this becomes the second inversion of C major, which is G, C and E. Now if we do this for a third time by taking the bottom note G and moving it up to the top, rearranging our fingers, we end up playing C major, but this time we're one octave higher. So there are two inversions to each of the major chords or minor chords. We can do the same thing by going down the keyboard. This time they appear in reverse order, so if you take the top note G and move it down to the bottom, you end up playing the second inversion of C major, and then by taking the E and moving it down, you end up playing the first inversion of C major. And again, if we take the top note C and move it down to the bottom note, we end up playing C major, but this time it's one octave lower. If I move up the keyboard now, playing the inversions one by one, you can see how they work, and they are all the chord of C major. So C, first inversion, second inversion, back to C, first inversion, second inversion, and then back to C. Now you can do this with any of the chords. So for instance, if I take the chord of G minor, for instance, and just keep putting the bottom note on the top or the top note on the bottom, depending on which direction of the keyboard I'm going, you can make the same with G minor. So there's G minor, G, B flat and D. And now if we do the first inversion, then the second inversion, and then the third inversion, or back to just G minor but one octave higher. So why do we need inversions? Well, if you wanted to move from the chord of C major to F major, you would have to move quite a long way up the keyboard or a long way down the keyboard. And this takes time and makes things uneven and clumsy. What you ideally want to do is move from C major to F major, for instance, with as little effort or movement. So for instance, if you move from C major to F major second inversion, you literally just move a small amount. C major, F major second inversion. And we can go down the keyboard as well. We can do C major, F major, first inversion. So now the change is smooth and easy. You can see how you can change from one chord to another a lot more smoothly and a lot more easily. So that's basically why we use inversions, and it just makes your playing a lot easier.